Well, on the Only Fools and Horses podcast today, we're speaking all about Series 6, which, Chris, this has to be one of the best series of Only Fools and Horses, doesn't it?
I think so, Chris. Really, yeah. I think all six episodes are high quality, aren't they? And I think in any fan's opinion, I think most of those episodes would make their certainly top 15, wouldn't they?
Yeah. And what do you think, Emily?
Definitely, it's one of the better ones. It's hard to choose which one's my favourite. So they're all so good.
This was the hardest for me as well, actually, out of all of the series that we've done so far, to pick the number
Yeah.
one. It was between three of them for me.
Yeah,
So
Hmm.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You've normally got a few not weaker episodes, but you've normally got some highlights, haven't you? A few that not so good and a few average, but they're all probably all nines. The weakest ones are nines out of 10, aren't they? I would say.
yeah, it's definitely hard to choose.
Yeah, yeah, no question. Yeah, and of course it's the first series that went to 50 minutes as well, isn't it? So where they were throwing good stuff away, they were able to use more and kind of develop the story more, weren't they?
Oh, yeah, you can definitely tell that in this series.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
definitely.
I think Sir David actually, I think he was kind of saying he wouldn't do any more if they stayed at half an hour. I think he was saying that, because he was a bit gutted of how much good material they were wasting, really. Yeah. So
There's
series six
wasting a
and
lot, weren't
seven.
there?
What's that, Emily?
There was wasting a lot of good material, wasn't there?
Yeah, yeah, no question. Yeah, and series seven was 50 minutes as well after that, wasn't it? I was just kind of doing a bit of background research, and Tony Dow, the director.
Yeah.
If you think about the first three episodes, are quite a lot of locations, aren't they? And things on location. He goes to the bar, doesn't he? In the first one, which we're going to talk about in a minute. Danger UXD. There's a lot of locations. Also in I think the third one is Chain Gang, isn't it? Yes, it is. So that's a lot of locations. That apparently costs a lot more as well to do. So I think they were struggling with budget for the last three a little bit as well. So
Some of these
uh,
are so good, though, that they could have been Christmas specials, really. They're that quality, aren't they?
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I didn't realise talking to Christmas specials, they were very closely filmed to after date. So Dates was filmed late '88. These were kind of filmed just after that, like early '89. The Dates really is a few weeks after. Sorry, a few weeks before Series Six. Really.
Mm.
That's interesting because, of course, he goes out with Nervous Nerys
Yeah.
in Dates, and then, of course, Cassandra's first episode is Yuppie Love, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, correct. Yeah, and there's definitely been a shift of image, hasn't there? His sheepskin's gone by now, hasn't it? And his camel hair, hasn't it? And it's now the plastic Mac, isn't it? And the aluminium briefcase and the
Yep.
the file effects, the brick phone. Yeah, proper yuppie '80s, isn't it?
Yeah. I love the braces as well that Del Boy wears, the red braces and the file
Oh,
effects.
I don't know about you two guys. Have you ever seen Wall Street? I've never actually seen it because that's who he's modelling himself on, isn't it? Gordon
yeah.
Gekko.
I've never
Yeah.
seen it, but I know it's Michael Douglas, and I've seen the poster to it, but I've never seen the film. I imagine it's a bit like The Wolf of Wall Street, the
I've
modern
seen
Yeah,
that
film.
one.
Yeah, I imagine it's like that, but it's set in the 80s, of course.
Yeah.
yeah. I think I'm right in saying that Charlie Sheen's in it as well, isn't he? I think as his sidekick.
Think so. Sounds
Mm.
sounds right.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. And obviously Rodney's kind of grown up by now as well, hasn't he? He's not the he's still a plonker a little bit, but he's grown up a little bit. Like you say, he's meeting a wife in this series, isn't he? And doing grown up stuff.
He still
Yes.
writes his name, in the back of his coat, though, doesn't he?
Yeah, yeah,
Or rather, Dell does.
yeah. He didn't lose his coat though, did he? That's the thing. He didn't
No, we
lose your coat
didn't.
though, did you? Yeah. So the King's Avenue as well, where Dell visits, doesn't he, on the way to the art class?
Mm.
Apparently, that happened to John Sullivan. I was reading as well. He'd met a girl when he was younger. Instead of taking her home, getting him dropped off at his house, he took her down the road where to a bit of a, more of a posher place.
And with that street, Kings Avenue, the real location, when I spoke to Adrian Pegg, unfortunately, Chris and Emily couldn't join me, but he said that was just around the corner from his house. and
Wow.
he selected it, the location.
And I believe Kings Avenue doesn't exist either, does it? That was a mock-up sign, so whatever it's called normally, it was like a mock-up sign,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm not too far away. I've just moved my phone. Is it all right where I've put it or not? I'm a bit.
It's better now, to be honest.
Is it? Oh, right.
I think
Yeah.
it's better.
Right, great. Great, yeah. So I'm just looking at So, what do you reckon? What do you reckon? Obviously, the first episode, Yuppie Love. Then, what do you think about that episode? Then, do you remember what happened? I'm sure you both do.
Yes. Yuppie Love is one of my favourite ones. I remember years ago when I had a phone and it's like one of them flip phones. And it had like a meme of Del Boy falling through the bar.
I had one of them. Samsung, I think it was.
I think it was Samsung. And I remember that's the first thing that I downloaded was Del Boy falling through the bar. So I love that scene.
I think some people might not know what episode that came from. Really, the actual scene has overtook the episode to a point, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, that obviously the highlight of that episode is that, and Trigger, who wasn't supposed to be in the scene, was added later, wasn't he? I think he'd been next door rehearsing something, hadn't he? And John Sullivan said, "Have you got a couple of days spare to film this scene?" And I think he was the icing on the cake for it, wasn't he? Trigger,
Yeah.
His reaction
wouldn't have worked without Trigger, I don't think. I mean, it would have been funny, but it wouldn't have been as funny without Trigger.
No. Yeah, amazing. I mean, leading up to that, you've got to talk about your wealth, talk about your money. I found an old £5 note the other day. Not your bloody coin collection, Tree,
And he gets the half for nicking a pork pie.
That's it. Yeah, he took me out for nicking a pork pie. Yeah, here, have this. I don't want it or something. Yeah. But like Tony Dow said, they kind of cut away from it, don't they? So no one's aware of anything, are they, really, that he's going to fall through the bar? Obviously, it's complete shock when he does that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's the timing of it, isn't it, that's so brilliant. You don't see it coming, and then by the time you do see it come in, you're just starting to laugh, aren't you, really?
Yeah. And Sir David keeps that, like he said before, you'd not naturally put your arms down, wouldn't you, to stop your fall? But he stays very upright, doesn't he, and very, very rigid as he falls, which makes it even funnier as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And I think when he gets up, he's still got a bit of wine in his glass, amazingly, hasn't he, as well?
So I managed
Del Boy.
Yeah, Del Boy, yeah. And again, I think that was off a true story as well. I think John Sullivan had witnessed it somewhere, hadn't he?
I think in Yuppie Love, equally, I find it just as funny when Rodney has to walk down King's Avenue and he's soaking wet and he comes back to the flat. For me, that's just as funny as that scene. It really is.
Yeah.
What band have you seen? Wet, wet, wet.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
And when Cassandra drops him off, Rodney, he's going, "Please go away, Cassandra." And then he looks up at the couple in the bedroom window, doesn't he? "Hi, I'm home." I mean, yeah. And obviously he's got her Mac on, hasn't he, on the way home? And he says, "Blimey, that one's shrunk, hasn't it?"
And yeah, that's funny as well because he says to Cassandra, "Well, how do you know? They're almost identical, aren't they?" And they're just like, "It's got your name written in it."
Yeah. And how he opens it, doesn't he? Like dead slow, like just to get the best comedy effect. Yeah.
And it's not just a little bit. It's not just his name, little squiggle, is it? It's like funny. Yeah,
in crayon. Yeah, and the nightclub scene's quite good, isn't it? With Mickey. Do you know what? When I'm doing podcasts, I don't know if I think of names. Mickey Pierce, isn't it? And Jevon. Yeah. That's quite good, isn't it? As well, and he goes up to her, doesn't he, and asks if he wants to dance, and then I think Mickey Pierce says he's giving him half the winnings or something.
Is it Jevon or is it Chris?
No, it's Jevon.
It is Jevon. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I get them mixed up sometimes.
I get them mixed up as well.
Yeah, Chris was in. I think he was in Rodney Come Home first episode. So Jevon had done a few.
Because we spoke to Chris, and I was speaking to him, and I did a clanger. I was like, "Oh, I remember you in that episode," and he was really nice, but it he wasn't in that episode. It was Jevon,
Mm.
yeah. But he came in really quick after Jevon, didn't he?
Yeah,
Seemed like it.
yeah, yeah. In fact, I think they were all together in dates, weren't they, at the Nag's Head?
Yeah.
Yeah, there were.
Yeah, that's the
When
only
they
time
set
they
up
all.
Rodney for Nervous Nervous, yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I'm just looking if there's anything else on that episode, really. Gas conversion kits was another thing in that episode, wasn't it, as well?
Yeah. When he sent Rodney, yeah, that when he was
Yeah.
a kid.
To an all-electric estate, yeah.
Didn't Del Boy also talk about like a lost love that he had?
Yeah,
And
that's
Yeah,
it.
when
we
he was
did.
younger, he was working at the Tower of London or something as a tour guide. And she
Yeah,
had a funny name, didn't she? Like a double barrel name or something.
yeah, yeah. And that's why he'd sent him out to the gas convert with the gas conversion kit, so he could have. I think he called it Annie Bloody Oakley, didn't he? He
Yeah.
could have that flat with Annie Bloody Oakley, which I think I'm right in saying is off. Oh God, when they
Dallas?
meet on the train.
Oh, what's it off of?
I think it's when they meet on a train. Is it Close Encounters or something? You know, on the train, a film called Close Encounter. I think
Oh,
her name's
okay.
Annie Oakley. I might be wrong.
I never seen it.
I said
The old
Dallas because
black
I
and white.
remember him saying she had a funny double-barreled name, like an oil baron's daughter or something. I think something like that. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
might be
And then
wrong.
she said she paid him a wonderful compliment. You remember the compliment she paid him?
Yeah, it was like the day JFK got shot,
Yeah,
Yeah.
but only Del Boy could see that as a compliment, really.
compliment.
Not much of a compliment.
Yeah, yeah. Don't you know what it means? Because everybody remembers where they were when they met Del Trotter. And then I think Albert says, no, Rodney says it could mean you look like Lee Harvey Oswald, and that's the guy who shot Kennedy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Apparently, yeah. Conspiracy theories, but there you go.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so I think we've covered that one, haven't we? So what's the second episode then in that series?
Danger
Fitness on
UXD.
well. Innit? Oh no, Danger XD in it.
Yeah, Danger UXD. Yeah. And what's that
I'm
one
all right. I've
about
got the DVD here, so I can't get it wrong.
Oh,
I
you can't get it wrong. Is
can't.
What's that one about?
that the one with the dolls?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
UXD, unexploding dolls. It's normally UXB, isn't it? Unexploding bombs. So play on
Yeah.
words there.
Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't know that either,
Unexploding.
to be honest. No.
I
Yeah,
even learned
yeah,
something new.
yeah. Again, a memorable moment. We go fast forward to it, but when them dolls
Yeah.
blow up in the flat, it's just unbelievable, isn't it? You know, and they all run out of the flat, don't they, when that happens?
I read in one of the David Jason books that I've got, and he's describing this scene with the dolls, and he was getting funny looks for these dolls because they're having to cover obviously a lot of the dolls, and apparently he's getting funny looks from people on like the BBC casting and stuff like that because just carrying these dolls, and he said, "Oh, so embarrassed apparently."
Oh, I bet. Yeah, I bet. Apparently, they'd used blow-up dolls for Nicholas Linder's 21st birthday or something. That's where the idea came from. Don't know how true that is, but yeah, I read that as well.
Yeah, never heard that before.
Yeah, and it was a bit risque for the BBC, wasn't it? I know they made them tasteful, but blow-up dolls on the BBC was, well, I say it's bad taste for BBC, but we won't go there. But, you know, it was a bit, for a family show, it was a little bit risque,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
A little
Yeah,
bit.
I'm not convinced they'd do it today, which would have been a great shame, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Do you know what, as well? Again, when I read things, you think, oh, wow, that was Denzel's first episode since To Hull and Back.
God. Yeah, that's a
Which,
guess.
Oh wow.
it's quite a lot, isn't it? You know, we've gone from To Hull and Back, we've done Royal Flush, Frog's Legacy, Dates. You know, so you've done, I think 4 years has elapsed by the time Denzel comes back into it, which I never even.
Yeah, he didn't
know,
age, did he? Obviously, because you can't tell, really.
You
No,
can't.
And he still references Corin, doesn't he? What do I do? Do I leave the trucks on till Monday, or do I let Corinne down? And Delbo goes, it's obvious you let Corinne down. But he kept the trucks on till Monday, didn't he? And
Yeah.
then the factory went up in flames.
Yeah, Denzel. I mean, you kind of feel sorry for him, really. He always, Del Boy always kind of, he doesn't mean to, but it always ends up badly, doesn't it, with him?
It does.
Yeah, yeah. He nicked his, well, not nicked it, but he'd got his redundancy money, didn't he? And made him go half crazy into Hull and back, didn't he? Because he saw him everywhere.
And also
Yeah, but
the Christmas special, with the Gunge, that one as well, Peckham Spring,
Yeah,
oh yeah.
and
yeah,
Gary, the Gary episode, Strangers
yeah,
on the Shore. Yeah, so many
yeah.
Wow.
examples, really. And even when he first gets his lorry or whatever, do you remember Del says, yeah, he wants to do something local, like something Peckham, and Del Boy's like, no,
Peckham
it's
Courier.
got to be big international, and then he can't handle it because it's too big for him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But he
He
always
called it
listens
Trans
to
World
him.
Express, didn't he? In the end.
Yeah. But Danger UXD, I think if we did a top five, I think it would possibly be in it, all of ours, or definitely in the top 10.
Yeah, definitely.
And all six of these have got a case. I don't think they'd all six in my top 10. I would say maybe four of these episodes would possibly be in the top 10. Yeah.
Mm.
Not saying which. I want to keep the viewers, on tenterhooks. I mean,
Suspense.
yeah,
Same.
suspense. Yeah. But yeah, great episode again, isn't it? And then
Yeah.
that's quite funny, isn't it? When he goes, Denzel's in the bar, isn't he? And goes, "Where's Del? I've given you some inflatable dolls. They're filled with propane. They might explode." And Mike and Boyce are like, "That's terrible. That's tragic." And then they both laugh, don't they? Then Boyce
Yeah.
with his iconic laugh. Yeah,
Love that laugh.
yeah. So, and Albert drives the van. That's the only time you see him drive the van.
Mm.
Oh yeah, I forgot
Yeah.
about that, to be honest. I like
Must
the
be.
bit. I like the bit where they have the dolls and they're in disguise and they have to get them to the van, and then Del sees somebody and he's like, "Good evening."
Good evening. Yeah, that's right.
Wearing
Yeah.
his mum's clothes.
Yeah.
It's quite good at the end, isn't it? When he knows that they're going to explode, Rodney and Del, they throw him onto some wasteland, don't they?
Yeah.
Some tramps there, so the dolls explode, don't they? And they go, and Del just lifts up after he's on the floor. He goes, "I told him not to have that mutton vindaloo."
It's such a good one.
Yeah, without a doubt. What about the next one? And that was another thing. Sorry, before we move on, the van. He was thinking about having the van to explode, wasn't he? And then the van would be no more, and then he decided not to because the van is so, symbolic and iconic of the show, isn't it?
Well,
Oh, I
that
didn't
was
know
the
that.
original plan. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Oh.
because those dolls obviously were in a wasteland, weren't they? But they were in the van, weren't they? Sort of thing. Yeah.
That would have been a
Yeah.
tragedy.
I've got it here actually. Yeah, he reconsidered due to the affection the van had with the viewers and its importance on the show's identity. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it wouldn't have been the same. I know that sounds funny. It's a mode of transport, but it's more than that, isn't it, really?
It
It's so
is.
iconic.
Yeah, it definitely is, isn't it? Like you say, it's one of the characters, really, isn't it? There from day one.
Yeah. It was good he reconsidered.
Yeah, well, and it was there to the end, really, wasn't it? Four things were there: Del, Rodney, Trigger, and the van were in the first episode, and the very last one. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. What about the next one then? What was the next one on? I do know, but what's the next one on the list?
Chain gang in it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So what's that one all about then?
That's with, is it Ernie?
Sorry,
Is that his name?
Arnie.
Arnie. I knew it was one of
Ernie
them.
would have been better though. Yeah, Arnie.
He fakes a heart attack, doesn't he?
It's with Mr. T, actually, isn't it? Yeah, with all the gold chains.
Mug Mr. T. Yeah.
Yeah, he fakes a heart attack in restaurants, doesn't he? Not to give him the chains. You think that's the right way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's conned him, hasn't he? He wants £12,500, doesn't he? I can't. Is it 100 gold chains? I can't remember now. Is it 200 gold chains? Something like that, isn't it?
I think it's
A lot.
200, I think.
Yeah. And he says, and what
I think
the
it's
selling
200
point?
well.
Yeah, and what the selling point is in the Jag outside the casino, you can double your money. And Del's like, "I'll have them, subject to surveyor's report." And then obviously he's got the consortium, hasn't he? Then
Before that, though, I think it's funny with Del and he sees Arnie at the casino and he says to him, oh, I'll buy a couple. It's just
Yeah,
he wants
yeah.
them all to go, doesn't he? But
I'm not running a corner shop, Del. Yeah, and obviously that's when he opens the briefcase and Rodney's like, "What you done, Mr. T?" But it's a great constructed episode, that, isn't it? Again, you don't see that. You can see the con. You know he's a robber or something, don't you? It doesn't add up, but you can't see what does develop happening, can you? Sort of thing.
it's probably the
Um,
best fun on the show, really. It's up there, isn't it, to be honest?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then obviously the Del and Boyce are in the restaurant, aren't they, with Arnie having his heart attack? And the lads outside are like, what's going on in there? All is not well. They're like, what the hell's going on? They just see Boyce get punched, don't they? Arnie falling on the floor, and yeah, and then they
What's the
have to
bit
leave.
where Boise holds hands with somebody at the table? That's funny.
That's the tall boy, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
because he's worried about his money. It's just
yeah,
hilarious, isn't it? Yeah.
yeah. Get off me! Everyone thinks we're a bit strange or something. Yeah, yeah. But so well constructed, that one, isn't it? And then I know we're fast forwarding. The end bit's great, isn't it? When Arnie gets in the ambulance, eyes closed, wonderful. Opens his eyes, and there's Del and the boys, isn't it, in the ambulance?
Yeah, that's a great ending, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's probably one of the best.
What's
Yeah.
up, Arnie? You don't look too well. And the last line is he's got that monkey wrench, hasn't he? He says, "Calm down, Arnie. You'll give yourself an heart attack or something."
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, brilliant episode again. I mean, keep repeating ourselves. They're all brilliant episodes, aren't they? But yeah,
I think the
yeah,
only other con that was up there was probably the Cash and Curry episode. That's
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, the
the other
little
one.
statue.
Yeah,
yeah,
that was clever.
constructed well again, isn't it? That one.
But they
Yeah.
didn't get them, did they? Whereas they got Arnie, but they didn't get the Indian gentleman for that. They
No, they
got
didn't.
robbed.
Yeah,
They didn't.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I'm
They
sorry.
escaped. And we don't know whatever happened to the chains either, do we? Actually,
No.
Be worth a fortune today with the prices in gold. They've gone up recently. I don't know if you heard, but
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, true. And it's the first series as well. If you think of other series, there's no ongoing story, is there? Really, you see an episode, whereas this series 6, the episodes are linked, aren't they? Like, because the relationship with Cassandra's develops, doesn't it, as the series
Yeah.
goes on? Whereas like the other series, you could watch any episode, couldn't you? It wouldn't really matter, would it? In a way.
No, I
Um,
get what you mean.
yeah, yeah. So he could develop the stories and the characters a little bit. Yeah.
but you're right. Yeah, with Rodney and Cassandra, I think that's the main reason because, as you say, first episode they meet, and the last episode they get married. So I suppose that's why they had to make it more of a serial, I guess.
Yeah.
Now I believe the exterior of that 111 club, where it filmed with Arnie, the inside of that is actually the nightclub for Yuppie Love, weirdly.
Oh,
So
right.
they used the inside for Yuppie Love, the nightclub, and the outside was the 111 club, yeah. And I think the other side might be the the bar, not the exterior shot of the bar, I think I'm right in saying, yeah.
Hmm.
Wow.
So and they've moved to Bristol by now as well, haven't they, by the way? That's important to remember as well. Because he kept getting mithered in London, didn't he, too much?
They stayed there after this series, didn't they? Pretty much, or
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
Yeah.
stayed there till the end. Yeah, yeah. Apparently, that episode, Chain Gang, is I don't know why it is, but it's Gwyneth Strong's first studio scenes in the series.
it's what? Sorry.
Apparently it's Gwyneth Strong's first studio scenes in the series.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Which I suppose, I suppose it will be because Yuppie Love and Danger UXD, they're not in the Nag's Head or the flat, are they?
No, she was
No, they're in that
outside,
restaurant.
or at the college, and where else was she?
There was in a restaurant, weren't there, in that Danger UXD?
Yeah. Again, though, it's going to be exterior, though. It's not in the studio, is it? Type of thing.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a first. When she's chatting to Denzel, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, bit trivia, like it's one of them.
Yeah. No, it's good to know.
Yeah. Yeah. What
Yeah,
about the
it's
next
good.
one then? Have we covered that one or anything else?
Well,
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to play the lottery, and I'm going to play the Spanish lottery. Yeah, the next one, the unlucky winner is.
That's it. That's it. Yeah. He's sent off a painting, hasn't he, from when he was he 14 or something?
Yeah, cornflakes, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Cornflakes
so,
competition.
yeah,
Mega Flakes.
Mega
yeah.
flakes. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah,
That was fun.
yeah. And so he's taken him on false pretenses, hasn't he? A holiday for 3. Realizes at the airport when he gets there. It's funny. He says, "Why? Everyone else are parents apart from me." He says, "Oh no, it's not the parents that have won, Rodney. It's the kids." And then it's all bedlam then, isn't it? Really, he's like, "Oh my, he's got a nightmare, hasn't he? Skateboarding and all sorts, then playing in sandpits and all sorts."
With the
Yeah,
painting itself,
Trudy. Is it Trudy?
Trudy.
Yeah.
with the painting itself, Marble Arch at Dawn, did we see this painting? I can't remember in the episode. That's the only thing I can't remember about it.
I don't think
Do
we
you
did.
vaguely see
Yeah.
it, or don't you see it?
No, we do see it. The Cassandra and Rodney at the beginning of the episode in the flat. She's looking at it, going, "Oh, Marble Arch at Dawn by Rodney Trotter," and then I think he wanted to look another landmark, didn't he? But then he's put a red bus on it, then made it look like the Marble Arch. I think he wanted it, I don't know, Eiffel Tower or something originally. I don't know, but there was some. So they do talk about it and it's shown. Yeah,
Yeah, it was good enough for this competition, though, wasn't it? And what was you saying
Yeah.
about Trudy, Emily?
He gets stuck with Trudy, doesn't he? From the beginning, she's just there, like staring up at him, like hello. Then he has to go skateboarding with this girl and everything else that they had going on in the Groovy Gang.
Groovy.
groovy. Yeah. Yeah, it says, do you like Bros? But again, groovy that you mentioned. Yeah, Michael Fenton Stevens, friend of the show, Alan Perkins, he was great at it, wasn't he?
Oh,
Yeah.
he was. Yeah.
Are you having fun? Groovy. Yeah. Yeah.
And I think
Yeah,
he
that's
said,
fun.
I think he said when they did this as the live audience that the audience had to calm down for this because they were laughing at every little thing, weren't they? I think I remember him saying that. But I'm not
Yeah.
surprised because it is one of the best episodes, to be honest.
It's one of the best.
That's quite good when he comes in and he's with his skateboard under his arm, doesn't he? And he's like, "I've just come second in a skateboard competition. Second? You're in the lead when I saw you." And he's like, "I fell off," or something. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he throws a proper tantrum, doesn't he, like a teenager would.
Yeah. Yeah. And then he's got a fag and a whiskey, hasn't he? And then Dell's like, "Oh, Rodney, the Arcana's here." And it's quite good how they transfer the drink and fag over, isn't it? And
Yeah.
when they come in, yeah. Because she's quite a famous actress, isn't it? Is it Gina Bellingham, the Carmen, the lady in that?
I think so. Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I don't know what she's out of, but I know she's famous. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why. I get mixed up with her and Sarah Parrish. I always think they look similar. I think her name's Gina Bellingham. She has been in a few things, yeah.
And I liked the school disco part as well. That was funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that girl, she was online not that long ago, like from how many years this was to what she looks like now. I think she's a nurse or something. So that was quite funny after
Yeah.
all these years.
Yeah. I don't think she's done much acting, has she, since, like you say? But that Carmen comes over and says to Rodney, "Rodney, do you want to watch the final of the breakdancing?" So Cassandra says, "Do you want to watch?" He says, "Watch, I'm in it." Which is, yeah. And then, of course, at the end with the lottery tickets, Chris, as you mentioned.
Yeah, that's got to be the funniest bit, isn't it, really? I mean, I love that. That's one of those classic John Sullivan endings. I think that's probably one of the best. If you had to choose like your favorite ending, it's up there, I think.
And then so Alan Perkins like, "Oh dear," because they're going do and then celebrating, aren't they? And Alan Perkins like, "Oh dear. Rodney can't claim a penny. He's under 16 or 18 under Spanish laws." So they're like, and then Rodney goes, "No, I've got my student ID." So he reads out his date of birth, doesn't he? I don't know, 14th of May, 1974. And Dell's reading it out with him, isn't he, as he says it? So
And his passport, isn't it, as well?
Yeah. So I think Rodney thinks, well, his student ID is going to be safe. He won't have gone into his wallet and changed that, but he's even changed his student ID. And then, so at the end, he's like, come here. They're chasing each other. Rodney's chasing him, isn't he, out of the hotel?
I like the bit where he says, "I don't care if it's potatoes or potatoes." That's funny.
Yeah. Or Bulgarian luncheon vouchers. Yeah. Something
How much
like
was it? Because I don't remember exactly. I know it was a lot of money, but
I think it's $1 million pesetas, isn't it? But it's not £1 million. That million
Yeah,
pesetas, I think, would be 500,000. Yeah.
still
So
would have
yeah.
set them up.
Yeah, it's
Oh
all a lot.
yeah, yeah. They've blown money a few times, like to Hullenbach when he threw that money out of the hotel flat window.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
that's one of the
Mm.
worst.
Yeah,
So it's so
yeah.
English in a way, I think.
Mm.
It's triumph and then it's disaster. It's like,
Yeah, yeah. And then he goes into Hullenbach, doesn't he? It was counterfeit. What do you think I am? Some sort of Wally, and that's how it ends in it. That
Yeah.
episode. Yeah, yeah,
Just throwing all the money out the window.
yeah. It's great.
that was Boyce's money, wasn't it? Because
Yeah.
he was scared to give Dell the fake money, and he gave him
Yeah,
the money.
yeah. I think that was 15 grand. I think he paid him in the end for that. Yeah, for going across.
Whoever lives in the flat was lucky then, weren't they, with all the money?
Yeah, that's true. If they were walking by, yeah, they would, wouldn't they? Yeah, yeah.
Trading money.
The apparently in that episode as well, the bullfighting poster appears as well. You know, on the yellow door, Eldel.
Have you got that one somewhere?
I haven't got that one. No, I'll
Oh, you
look
have to get
out.
that one.
Yeah. Always
One
like
that you
tell a
need.
few things. Hunting down. That'd be one of them. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, did I have a picture sent to you the day, Chris? In the
They didn't
end.
come through, Emily. No,
Oh,
not had them.
I'll try again. I
Okay,
went
yeah.
to Southport and I saw these little figurines of all the fools and horses, and I sent them, but obviously they're not gone through.
All right, yeah. I'll have a look. Thank you.
I
Yeah.
saw some of them recently as well at my local pound shop. They weren't for £1, but they were very cheap, like reduced half
Yeah,
price or whatever.
I think they're called bobbleheads, aren't they? I've got a few bobbleheads. Can you see them in that?
Oh yeah,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that's what they were. Yeah, bobblehead.
Yeah. I've the trouble is with my room now. I've gone a bit too much, and it's even bulging into the lounge now. So I've got all them boxed up in the
Have to get a
lounge
lock up.
Yeah, I will. Next one then. What's the next one?
Sickness and wealth.
Yep.
This is where Dell's had a dodgy mutton tikka. No, he's well, this is kind of it's a funny one, but it does kind of have a serious subject, doesn't it? It's like if you don't look after yourself, then you are going to end up at the hospital. But it's very
Yeah.
funny the way Dell denies everything when he's there,
Mm.
and the doctor, it's all a big mystery to the doctors, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, yeah, like you say, the doctor's he's this health freak, isn't he? That runs and has goat skim milk and has one cigar a year on Christmas Day, isn't it? And Robin Meadows, the doctor, says, "What about the other 3,000 you have the rest of the year?" Yeah. Who is from Titanic, isn't he? Apparently, the actor Robin Meadows.
What, is he one of the violinists or is he one of the crew?
He's one of the crew.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of the crew. Yeah. The seance must be the best bit, though. Do you think in that episode?
Oh yeah, with what's her name? Elsie Partridge.
You've got it, Elsie Partridge. Yeah.
Yeah.
But just before that, in the flat, Albert goes, "Elsie Partridge is a medium, and he's got these summer frocks." He says, "Go and take that round, because that'll fit a treat that well." That's a good little line.
I'm
isn't it, that one?
considering changing my order now because, to be honest, with this episode, I didn't remember that the seance was in this episode. I thought it was in another episode. I thought it was just Del Boy going to hospital, but now I'm considering changing it. Oh, I don't know.
And then Elsie Partridge says, "There's an old man here holding a photograph with a boy evil face. Looking for someone called Aubrey," and they're all looking, thinking, "Who's Aubrey?" "I am here." That's the first time we know Boyce's name's Aubrey, isn't it? Then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hilarious. The way he says, he wouldn't have let anybody know what his name was. If your name was Aubrey, you wouldn't have done that, would you? He wouldn't say anything. Yeah, brilliant.
That's where he found out he's going to be a dad, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, you must be a good father. And he says, "What, are you having a pop at me?" And then they're discussing him, aren't they?
Yeah.
It triggers like he's low on something. They've tried everything.
But that's interesting with Boyce's dad. Is that the reason why Boyce is the way he is? Thinking about it in a deep way. He was not very nice.
Yeah. And then she says, Elsie Parch says, "Oh, your mother, she's not in the photo. Had she passed on?" "No, she's taking the photograph." Again, it's just silly humour, isn't it? But it's just funny, yeah.
I like is it with Trigger where they turn on the lights?
Oh, that's
Is that this one?
No, that you're talking class of '62, possibly, are you? When
What happens with Trigger in this one? Something happens.
yeah, so she then goes on to the next person. Somebody else step forward. It's a woman with long blonde hair. Sorry, a person with long blonde hair, loads of jewellery. To which Trigger says, "Sounds like Jimmy Savile."
yeah.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
Del's like, "Jimmy Savile." Rodney's like, "Jimmy Savile, what a cheat."
And it was their mum.
It was their mum, yeah. And she, the joke. Well, this one's a made-up one, isn't it? That's trying to make him go hospital. You must go to hospital,
That's
and
how
then
it ties in.
yeah, and then Nervous Nerys. It's only a second episode, isn't it? A second and last one.
Yeah.
She goes, "Lager's off," and they all, well, scared stiff, aren't they? Then when she does that,
Yeah.
Does she turn the light on or does she just come in?
she turns the light on. Lager's
That's
off.
what I was thinking
Yeah.
of.
Yeah.
They all jump out of their skin, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, great episode, isn't it?
This gets even harder though now, thinking about the order, doesn't it? Really?
It does.
I was just thinking the doctors as well when she says, "When I said strip to the waist, I meant your top half," and he's took his pants off, hasn't he?
Oh,
I
um,
mean, go on.
I was with my dad at the hospital the other day, and he was getting checked out, and he said strip, and I just thought of Del Boy, and I was trying not to laugh.
Yeah.
Serious appointment.
He says to the doctor that he's got a problem in his New Delhi, doesn't he? And she says,
Yeah.
"I'm from New Delhi." Yeah.
Yeah, Cockney slang, yeah.
Delhi.
Yeah. In the old, did he say, yeah, New Delhi? He says another Cockney slang as well, doesn't he? I forget what it is, New Delhi, and then,
Old.
yeah. I know she says, "Do you struggle passing water?" She said, "Well, I had a dizzy spell over Tower Bridge the other day or something," yeah. I was going to say Cilla Black, but that was a different episode completely, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
But Del's health routine, how long does it last? Just this episode, probably.
Yeah. It's never mentioned again, is it?
It is later on when Raquel comes in, but that's because of Raquel. She's a health freak, so she tries to get him to eat better, but at last.
No, fried food. Well, she hates him in later episodes. Says, eat your fry up." "I thought this was bad for me. Eat your fry up." Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think it's quite like that in real life as well. If you're not feeling well, you do try and be healthy for a little while, but then, you creep back into your
Then the sun comes out, and you're like, "Oh, that's our barbecue."
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Me all the time.
and the end of that episode set up nicely for the last one because, "Are you feeling relaxed, Del?" Rodney says. "Yeah, I'm nice and relaxed." "Well, I've got some good news. I'm getting married." And then he's like, "Oh,"
Yeah.
isn't he, Del Boy? Like, yeah. So it sets the last episode up nicely then, doesn't it?
It does. There is one where Del Boy screams, and Rodney's like, "Don't you dare die. Don't you dare die." And he's like,
Yeah.
"I'm a bacon butty."
Yeah, he's down
like
his
that.
bacon butty, yeah. So, that's quite good in Sickness and in Health as well. Well, not good, but he gets quite upset in his bed, doesn't he? "I knew there's nothing wrong with me. Silly old sod," and he's crying. Trivia question: where do we see that dressing gown again that he's wearing? And if you can remember, it's a red one with Chinese Chinese dragon on it.
It's not the one he gives to Gary, is it? That was
Spot
green. Oh, is it?
The dressing gown was red, wasn't it? And it's that dressing gown.
Ah.
Yeah.
What's the green one that Del Boy wears? Is that in another episode? Must be.
Yeah, and that one, I need to get out more, but it's in Modern Man. You know when he gets into bed with Raquel?
With the book.
Yeah, and he goes, "Da-da," yeah, off. Who was it? He bought them for about £6 off. I want to say Monkey Harris, I think, someone like that.
Or Paddy the Greek or somebody like that.
Yeah, Paddy the Greek maybe. Yeah, so Gary's wearing those green pajamas from Modern Man and the red dressing gown from Sickness and in Health. Yeah. And that's a little take on Sickness and in Wealth series, isn't it? Alf Garnett, if you like, that little... Well, it's a phrase, isn't it? Sickness and in Wealth. Yeah. But... Yeah, yeah, great, good episode again. They're all great episodes. I don't know why I keep saying that. The last one, then, quite iconic. I always think with this one, strange name. Do you think for the episode?
What are problems?
Yeah, if someone said little problems, it doesn't shout out the wedding, does it, or anything like that?
No.
It's one that I stumble on actually. When if I hear a clip of it, I'm not quite. What's it called? That episode? Yeah, it doesn't have that same.
It doesn't, does it? Not like Yuppie Love and Chain Gang and stuff like that. It doesn't.
Yeah, not quite as catchy, is it?
Mm.
Yeah, again, great opening scene. It's Del's trying to sell the mobile phones, isn't he, in this one?
Yes, he is. And it changed channels, doesn't it? On the telly, like I said.
Yeah, they're watching horse racing, Boise and Trigger, aren't they? While Del's showing Mike how to use the phone, isn't he? And as he presses the buttons, the channels are flicking over, as you say, aren't they? He's waiting for a satellite, isn't he?
Wait, we'll be on a minute. We're passing in a minute.
And then he pushes the aerial down, the telly goes off, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And subsequently, he's sold Alan Parry. First episode of Alan Parry, I think, isn't it? This episode, Cassandra's dad. And then he meets Del.
So.
Yeah, and he meets Del later, and he goes, "I thought it'd come out something wrong with television." And he's got a plaster on his eye where the instant aerials hit him in the eye, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a brilliant episode. In some ways, it's more like a Christmas special to me, this one.
Yeah, and the letter-headed business letterheads as well. That's quite good, isn't it? With that being dynamic, Del, thanks to your high profile and being dynamic, we've got a company called Tit and a director with Dick after his name. Rodney Trotter, DIC. What are these? I think diploma in computerization, Rodney. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Of course, Alan's done all that, hasn't he?
Alan's what, sorry?
Alan's done the printing, isn't he?
Yeah, sorry, he has, yeah. First episode, the Driscoll brothers appearing. They've been mentioning the Frog's Legacy previously, haven't they?
Yeah,
They're smashing blokes, Unk. They're a bit like bumping into the two Ronnies, Biggs and Cray. But it's the height, isn't it, that's the funny thing, really, isn't it? One's, huge, played by Roy Marsden, I think it is.
Yeah.
And and Christopher Ryan, who was in the young ones. I've met them, both of those guys. Christopher Ryan, I was talking about the young ones. I don't know if you two are a bit too young for it. Do you remember the young ones with Rick Mail?
I've seen it, yeah.
I've seen it. It's funny.
I love Rick Mail.
Yeah, he's Mike in that, isn't he? And so I was talking to him about that really, as much as anything. But yeah, and Bottom, he was in later as well. Dave Hedgehog.
That's the name is in Bottom.
Yeah, Dave Hedgehog. Yeah.
I know it's a comedy, but I think they were very convincing. They were meant to be Peckham's version of the Krays, weren't they? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Some good lines, isn't there? There's £1. I'll buy everyone a drink. There's £1, and I want change.
Yeah.
Large cognac, please, Michael. It's just yeah.
Yeah.
I like Jeff Stevenson's line. Who we've had on the podcast. He's the stand-up comic,
Comedian.
isn't he? Yeah. There he goes. Hi ho. All right, mate. Fancy putting your head upside down? It's just great, isn't it? Yeah.
Or the bit where he's doing a stand-up routine about somebody really short, isn't he? And then
that's it.
Driscoll brother walks in, and then he's like, "Oh, there was this really tall guy," and he gets scared, doesn't he? It's funny.
Yeah. Well, and then he finishes with, "There was this woman." He's gone totally off track, hasn't he? Yeah. But Jeff Stevenson used to be the warm-up, didn't he?
Before the live show.
Yeah.
Quite a bit. There was another guy. I can't remember who it was now. He was the landlord in Rock and Chips. I forget the name of the guy now. He was a warm-up guy as well.
Oh, I know who you mean. I can't think of the name.
Yeah, I can't think of his name.
Was Jeff Stevenson our second podcast interview? Or he was really early, wasn't he?
He was early, yeah, because he
gave us some great stories though, which we'll come on to in a bit.
Yeah, he was Parker in To Hull and Back as well, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, the policeman.
Yeah. Now this is quite clever writing. I don't know if you know this. You might do. Mickey Pearce has got his arm in a sling, hasn't he?
Yeah,
Uh,
he's been
Yeah.
beaten up by the Driscolls.
yeah, Jevon's got a neck brace. Did
Yeah.
you know that that is a real injury that Mickey Pearce has got?
No, I just
No.
thought it was fake.
Yeah, he's fallen. I think he's fallen through something like a glass door or something, and he made a right mess of his arms. He's turned up for rehearsals with this arm in a sling. So John Sullivan, being John Sullivan, has written it in.
Yeah.
Because otherwise there's got to be an explanation for this big sling, hasn't there? Or you don't put
Yeah.
it in the episode.
Yeah, so
Um,
he probably got a better scene because he hurt his arm, probably.
Yeah, yeah. I've got here. Yeah, he had a fall and split his arm open. He'd been in hospital, and his arm's in a sling. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, like you say, been beaten up by the Driscoll brothers, because that's who's done that to your Gregory, which is Gregory Peck neck, isn't it? Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
I found that guy's name. It was Bobby Bragg.
Bobby Bragg. I'm glad you found that. Yeah, because he deserves he deserves a mention, doesn't he? I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he's no longer with us, unfortunately. Actually.
I'm not sure. It didn't say on Google.
Yeah, he was. I don't know what the name of the guy was. He's in Rock and Chips. He was the Mike of his day, if you like. From the
Yeah.
Rock and Chips episodes. Yeah.
But this episode always makes me cry as well because it's where he gets married.
Yeah, holding back the years.
Yeah, every time I hear that, I just picture Del Boy and Rodney looking at each other, and that look gets me every time.
Yeah, and he picks the model off the cake as well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
The groom like off the cake. Yeah.
And do you remember what Jeff Stevenson said? He said that they played this on the rehearsal, holding back the years, and they rehearsed, obviously. And he said everybody cried. It was that powerful, the scene and the song that they chose.
On a cassette tape as well. That's how long ago it was. Like played it on a cassette tape, I think, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that wasn't a hit. I don't think from that year. It was Simply Red, wasn't it? Holding back the years. It was from a few years before. Like so, yeah. It wasn't even. I don't know. It was there. He's had to do a bit of thinking and delving, hasn't he? He hasn't just thought that's number one in the charts. Pick that one. He's had a bit of thought behind that as well. Yeah.
I think that song will live on because of that scene.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's a great song. It's a brilliant song. But if it wasn't for that scene, possibly it would have been forgotten about. Not as, people still love that song. Well, it's quite a downer, but I still, sometimes when I do a wedding disco, the last song of the night, when everybody's leaving, I play it. Which is quite funny, being a DJ. Yeah.
Now you know your music, Chris. So I don't know who sings this, but I know they're a one-hit wonder. Zoom from
Fat Larry's
Diamond
Band.
Dark. Yeah, that's it. So they were a one-hit wonder, but as soon as that's played, now you're like, Christ! It takes you back to that episode, doesn't it? Straight away.
Oh yeah, yeah. They didn't have many hits.
And a mate of mine, who went to the Fuzzlers convention, he got married to that song. He was coming down. I think it was either coming down the aisle or when they got married. They went first dance. That was it. Yeah,
First dance.
that was playing. Yeah, yeah.
It couldn't have been Hooky Street, I suppose.
No, that's true. No.
Yeah, that's a good choice, though.
Yeah, and so he's promised. So Del's thinking, isn't he, that he's getting $2,000 off Boise for the video recorders are still kicking on here, aren't they? So Boise's got wind that $2,000, the Driscoll, or no, that was it. The Driscolls are after you. Is it for them video recorders? And Del's like, yes, actually, yes, it is. So Boise gives him the money, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Del's thinking he's sorted, but then Rodney goes at his stag do, and this man is giving me $2,000 as a wedding present. So Del's forgotten, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's his dilemma, isn't it? Where is he going to give $2,000 for Rodney's wedding, or the flat? I think it's the flat, or to the Driscoll brothers. So he decides to give it to Rodney, doesn't he?
Yeah. The funny bit I like on the stag do is where Rodney's talking about Del, and he's like a role model instead of a role model because he's so drunk. That's funny.
He says, if it wasn't for Del Boy, I'd end up a drunk or something. When he is drunk, isn't he, as well? Yeah.
And he ends up going back to the flat, doesn't he, in his pants, and he's got like what's he got on his head? He's got a a traffic cone on his head.
And he's got an L plate on his boxer shorts, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that it? Yeah. I remember something like that.
And then I think Denzel said to Rodney at the pub, we don't see this scene, but he said, "Look, Del's can't give you the money anymore or something." So Rodney's gone in all guns blazing, hasn't he? Said,
Oh
"Oh,
yeah.
you've let me down with that money. You're making me look a right tit head here or something."
And he's got the
It's like,
hiccups as well, hasn't he? So
mm,
as he's saying it, he's hiccup.
yeah. It's the only time we see the bathroom, by the way, as well.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that's a powerful scene as well, isn't it? With Del
yeah,
in the bathroom, and he's really hurt, obviously taking a beating from the Driscolls.
mm, mm,
And it shows you what he'd do for his family, doesn't it, Del?
yeah,
He'd rather
yeah.
take
Yeah.
the beating.
That's the kind of era that going on a sidestep. What the musical's based on, isn't it? Around the Driscoll brothers, and it's mashed with Del meeting Cassandra at the dating agency as well. So it's like, and that's the time as well, isn't it? That I spoke about before, dates, and that series 6. It's all around the same era, really, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, yeah. So that's
Because
what
Vinnie Jones is one of the Driscoll brothers now, isn't he, in the musical? I've heard.
in London. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But that's quite funny when they shoot upstairs, don't they, to hide? So Mickey, Jevon, Del, Trigger goes up with them. Yeah.
Trigger's there.
This
So
is what I was thinking
me.
of earlier, actually, I think.
Yeah.
Because Del's like, what are you doing here?
That's it. Del's got the phone in his top pocket, hasn't he? So they all tap each other down the line. They've gone. So Trigger goes to Del. They've gone. Bang, right up his nose, and then the curtain falls down. Then, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, that's quite a good line. $1 shilling a day and a horse shit sandwich the dad used to have.
Yeah, and what was it? Yeah, their father committed a murder, and there was no witnesses. He says, doesn't he? And like,
yeah.
But he was innocent.
Yeah.
They stitched him up.
Yeah. He ended up committing suicide by bashing his head on the ceiling or something with his braces.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah. And then we get another name reveal. What's the other name reveal in this episode?
Oh, Rodney Charlton Trotter.
Rodney Charlton Trotter, yeah. And they all burst out laughing, don't they? Like, yeah. And then Marlene says that the Knight do. Was she a fan of Charlton Heston? No, Charlton Athletic or something, isn't it? Yeah.
I like the bit when they get married, and obviously the person marrying them is like, "Oh, can we have a little bit more gravity on an occasion?" or whatever. He says something like that, doesn't he? And then he says it again, and they laugh even louder. You can imagine that happening.
Yeah. Then he just says Rodney Trotter, doesn't he? He just stops saying the word Charlton. Then, because it's quite good when he wants the rings, doesn't he? The not the vicar, is it? So Rodney taps his hand to Del, and Del goes, 11:15. Rodney wants the time. Yeah. But yeah, really good again, isn't it? Yeah. Duke's in the episode, isn't he? Eating the food off the table.
Right at the end, yeah. And Boise and Marlene, they're like the last people to leave, aren't they, really?
Yeah.
Before, Del takes the groom off of the cake.
And
I think Alan's brilliant in this episode. And we've spoken about it before. We would have liked to have seen more of Alan, wouldn't we? We thought he was brilliant.
Alan and Pam, because she's Wanda Vetman. She's quite an astute actress, isn't she? I think she's been in James Bond. A big glamour girl, glamorous lady in a day, isn't she?
Yeah.
And who's the son? Do you know that?
I think you've said before, Chris Cumberbatch.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You're Chris, yeah.
Yeah.
We're not all Chris.
I got it half right.
Yeah. It was, by the way, talking about Alan Parry, Dennis Lill, happy birthday for yesterday. It was his birthday yesterday.
Birthday, Dennis. He's a Kiwi, isn't he? I believe I've looked up before.
I think so. Yeah. But he is good. He's obviously been led astray by Del Boy, hasn't he? And he loves his jellied eels and stuff, doesn't he? And yeah, and she's quite good, isn't it? She's quite good. His wife, isn't she? With Ghastly Place, she's quite a snob, isn't she? Really,
Yeah.
Get married in this ghastly place or something. You've become a born again hooligan since you've met Del.
That's brilliant. I love all that before the wedding, and then Del changes his thought like the speed of light, doesn't he? As soon as it's revealed that he won't have to put up any money, and he's like, "Oh, actually, she might have a point."
Yeah. We can't be selfish, Alan. We can't be selfish. Yeah.
But Alan gets his wish, and to be honest, that it's got to be at the Nag's Head, hasn't it? Really, that wedding. Yeah.
Has to be. You couldn't be anywhere else, I don't think.
No. See, they built some different rooms. We don't see these other rooms in the Nag's Head much, do we? You know, we only see the pub, don't we? But these are like function rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah. We see it again in the Class of '62, don't we? This function room.
Yeah.
But very few and far between.
And it's in the Wealth, isn't it? Because that's in the function room.
Yes, correct. Yes, it is. Yeah, yeah. This series run from 8th of Jan 89. So for 6 weeks after that on a Sunday. Little Problems got 18.9 million as well. So the audience, again, as we said before, is growing, isn't it, all the time?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Does this series get the most views? I don't know if you know that yet, but or is it the final series?
It's just growing, Chris. Yeah, Series 7, I think it's bigger again. Yeah, yeah.
And that's the last series, isn't it? Series 7?
Correct. Yeah, there's obviously Christmas specials after that, but yeah, it is. Yeah. It was quite a big turnaround. So the transmission of one episode would go out. They were filming the next episode that week, if you know what I mean. So that's how quick. So they're filming it 1 week. It was being shown the week after, which is unusual, isn't it? That.
Yeah.
You know, you normally film it in the summer, don't you? And it's, you know, end of that year, it'll be on the telly. But that's how quick turnaround it was. Yeah. Yeah.
I've changed my order about 3 times. So
I've changed mine as well.
I'm changing it as we're doing it, you know.
I've kept with mine, but like you said, I think we're majority rules, doesn't it? We could have a different one on this one, couldn't we? So
and now I'm thinking, should I go for the ones that I've watched the most? You know, or the funniest, or, you know, not necessarily the funniest ones I've watched the most, which is surprising, but they're all funny. But
yeah. You could go from, I don't know, memorable scenes, couldn't you? Things like that, or is it the actual episode? Without giving too much away, I believe I've gone for the episode rather than anything. But what do you reckon then? 6 to 4 then? 6th, 5th, and 4th. What have you two guys got? 6th place?
I've got Chain Gang.
Chain Gang, right? Okay. Yeah. Okay. In 6, I'm gonna put Emily 6, Chain Gang. Yeah. Okay. And you, Chris?
Sickness and in Wealth.
In 6th place, right? I've got Sickness and in Wealth as well. And you for 5th, Emily? Then
Danger UXD.
I'd say that's the first shock of the night, if I'm honest.
Really?
I think so. Yeah. I would say so. Right, and you, Chris, for 5th?
Chain Gang.
Chris? Chain Gang.
I'm still looking through mine and deciding, really.
Chain Gang in 5th. Okay, my 5th place is The Unlucky Winner Is. Did I say my 6th place? Sorry, 6th place is Sickness in Wealth.
Yeah.
And my 5th place is Unlucky Winner Is. I think The Unlucky Winner Is isn't higher because you haven't got the iconic pub and things, have you? The other characters maybe and stuff like that, really.
It's probably the best episode that doesn't happen with the same locations, really.
Yeah. You've got The Longest Night. We've always said it's a good episode, Longest Night, but because it's not in the familiar surroundings, Miami Twice, another one.
Yeah.
It doesn't quite hit the note, does it? Hit the nail on the head like others.
But this one's hilarious, isn't it? I mean, so funny.
Yeah. What number 4 then?
I've got The Unlucky Winner Is.
As have I. I've got that, and I love that episode, but hard this series.
The standards are high, aren't they? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've got Chain Gang. So Chain Gang's appeared on all our lists, hasn't it? In the bottom 6.
Yeah.
So Unlucky Winner Is. We've all put that in the bottom 6 as well.
I haven't watched that for ages either. The Unlucky Winner Is. The last time I watched it, I was traveling back from New York. I was jet setting. But anyway, we crash landed in Canada because it was snowing. And that's the last time I watched it on the plane. So that was like 10 years ago or something. I need to watch it again because it's a great
episode. I last time I watched it.
And what have you got as number 3 then, both of you?
Sickness and in wealth.
Sickness and in wealth. And you, Chris?
Danger UXD, number 3.
Danger UXD. I've got little problems now. I don't think you two. Enough of me personally. No, I've got little problems as number 3. I don't think you two have mentioned little problems yet, have you?
No, not yet.
No.
So it's in our
No.
top 2.
No. Go on then. Drum roll. Top 2 for you, Emily. Top 2.
Little Problems
At
is
number 2.
second. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Yuppie Love is my first one.
Yuppie Love. Right. And your 2, Chris?
These two could interchange, but I've decided in the end, Yuppie Love number 2, Little Problems number 1. That's what I've decided. In the end.
Are you sure?
You should see this
Yeah.
bit of paper. It's hilarious. I've got like squiggles and crosses and yeah.
I've done 2 papers.
So Emily's got little problems as 2. You've got it as 1, Chris.
Yeah.
And Yuppie Love, Chris has got as 2. Emily's got as 1.
Yeah.
So I've got Yuppie Love as 2, and Danger UXD I've got as 1. I thought Danger UXD for a laughometer.
Yeah. It's the funniest.
Yeah. But there is another arguments for everything else, isn't there? Really? Yeah. I'd say Yuppie Love's probably the winner, isn't it? Then.
Yeah. I think I've gone for what I've seen more of than.
Same. Yeah. Get the words out of my mouth. I've gone for the ones that I've seen the most, and we'll watch again. You know, like as I just said, the unlucky winner is. That's an hilarious episode. And whenever I see, I mean, I probably have seen it before 10 years ago. I have seen it again on the TV, but like it's I haven't seen it as much as Little Problems or Yuppie Love. And Little Problems is one I'll put on quite a lot. Actually, I really like it.
It's one of my favorite ones.
Yeah.
Great episode. And it's so funny, and it's so sad, and it's everything that the show wants, really.
It's got everything in the series, hasn't it? It's you know, with the 50 minutes, so you'd say they might be diluted, but they're not. It's funny, fascinating, good writing all the way through, isn't it? It doesn't drop the quality, even gets better, I would say. I believe now we're at the peak of Only Fools and Horses, aren't we? You know, dates, this series, Jolly Boys Outing is as good as it gets for me.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I loved this Christmas specials in the 90s. I thought they were brilliant as well. I know they were the final episodes, but I think you could argue they were equally as good, you know.
I think it's it definitely, if someone said to me though, you can only watch a series and no others, that'd be the one you take. What do we call it? Desert Island Discs.
Yeah,
that's the one you take, I think, isn't it? Most of us, yeah.
Looking at the episodes, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
And they're always on the TV, these ones, aren't they? Always, or gold, all the time.
Yeah.
I think Time on Our Hands was on like 4 times the other day, like on gold. It was just continuous. It was that, something else, and something else. Then it went back to Time on Our Hands. It's just continuous.
Yeah, again, an iconic episode. Some episodes, though, have got scenes, haven't they, as well? You know, I mean, the Batman and Robin from the last 3 is when they faint in Time in Her Hands, the rocking the van in Time in Her Hands, the dolls blowing up, you know, in the flat as well. That, you know, those sort of the chandeliers. You know.
So much.
I think with Yuppie Love though, it's got 2 really funny moments. That's why it's so high for me. Because you've got Will falling through the bar, which is, of course, probably the funniest scene or one of. And then you've got Rodney coming home and he's drenched, and you know everything that goes with that. I think that's really funny. You know,
it is.
Yeah, like you say, it's a great episode, but that obviously adds weight, doesn't it, to that episode, without a doubt. Yeah, we'd all be, if we didn't have that in the top 2. I think it'd be strange, wouldn't it? Because you can't ignore that falling through the bar.
No.
And I like
very British as well.
Sorry, Emily?
Very British, getting drunk and then falling over. And then still left.
I've done it, the guy, I think we said before, the barman, he's been, he must have got royalties for that scene, mustn't he? He only done his own bar, hasn't he, really? I don't know, I forget his name now, but I think he's good friends. I think he's good friends with Sir David. Sir David, and that's how he got the part. I'm sure he did. Sir David recommended him. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. William's done one, isn't it? William.
And I like with Yuppie Love, it's the era, isn't it? It's the 80s. And
Yeah,
it's the Filofax, it's the red braces, it's that kind
yeah.
of, it's Yuppies. And
Maggie Thatcher. Yeah, stock exchange, isn't it, and things like that. Yeah,
and it's funny, I like the bit where he goes into the wine bar and it's like, oh, it's all yah, and he says that, yeah, they
Oh,
don't talk proper English like we do. It's just
yeah.
funny. Yeah.
Are they foreign then? No. Are they foreign then? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I could watch them all day. We're laughing still, aren't we? Recalling it, and it's just, yeah. It's timeless, Fools and Horses. That's the thing. There's still fresh jokes even now, aren't they? Really, some of comedies have dated. Fools and Horses hasn't really, has it?
No, I
no,
don't
there's
know.
only a few comedies that I can watch and still laugh at, and All Fools is obviously one of them.
Yeah. The only one I would compare for ear and things, and I put one on the other day, Faulty Towers. That's funny. It is funny, but it's not as good as Fools and Horses, is it? But
No.
it's still quite what If I was thinking, if I put an episode on of Faulty Towers or Fools and Horses to a kid who's 10, they'd probably laugh at both of them, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Whereas other comedies from that era, they wouldn't have a clue what it is, would they? Really, be like, "What's this?"
But as we said before, it's funny, it doesn't date, but at the same time, you've got things in it that are outdated. So the big video cameras or the video recorders or the phones, but it doesn't matter because the comedy's so good.
Yeah.
I,
Oh,
I like Gimme Gimme Gimme. I can watch that and still laugh continuously. It's one of my favourites as well as All Fools.
Hmm.
Yeah. I don't know if you've ever seen that or not.
I've seen parts of it.
I know what you mean. So I was just going to show. I was going to. That's quite a summary of a photo, isn't it? Then can you see
The
that? Is it on
braces, yeah.
properly?
Yeah.
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 The winner is that one. Yeah, yeah.
There's lots of series I used to like when I was younger, but I don't necessarily like them now. Other British comedy series, totally different stuff like Red Dwarf and other things like that. And I'm trying to think now. Loads of them. Blackadder.
Blackadder's a good
I
one.
like
Young
Blackadder.
Ones at Bottom that we mentioned.
Yeah, but I don't necessarily watch them now. That's the thing.
No.
But I did love them back then.
Yeah, yeah. Like the Young Ones, I loved it, but I wouldn't watch one now. And I probably haven't seen one for 20 years. It's one of them, isn't it? But Fools and Horses, I am a Fools and Horses holic. I watch it every day. I do.
Yeah, and that's the thing we've spoken about before, though. It's not just a comedy, is it? And that's why I think it's lasted so long. And that's why
It's so much more than comedy, isn't it?
it sets it apart, I think. That's
Yeah.
why Little Problems is my number one, really, because it's got that mix, of sadness and comedy.
Yeah, yeah. I think as well, John Sullivan could give the supporting actors more lines as well, couldn't he? Develop them even. In the other series, they're in it, but they're not in it much, are they? But Series 6 are in it a lot more, aren't they, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and as you say that's another reason why it's the best comedy series, I think, because all the little characters have their own part, and in a lot of other series they're just in the background, aren't they? They're not really that important. They change a lot of the time, the characters, but the framework of the whole show was consistent and it stayed the same pretty much. Or you would have characters that would come in for one episode and you wouldn't see them again, but the main characters you would see them throughout. Yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah. So it's Boise in Series 7, is it, in the pipeline? Boise we haven't done yet, have we?
Boise's Best Moments.
Best Moments, yeah.
You haven't done
Yeah,
that
we
one
can
yet.
do that. Yeah, do that next, and then Series 7. That'd be good. Series 7's with Tony Angelino, isn't it?
Correct. Yeah, Tony Angelino. The Satellite one, isn't it?
Bronco.
Yeah. She has the baby, doesn't she, Damien? They get the Pratmobile in that series, don't they, as well?
Yeah, they do. The mugging, but it's not mugging, it's knock.
Got the DVD here.
Yeah.
There we
The
go.
Sky's the Limit, The Chance of a Lunchtime, Stage Fright, Class of '62, He Ain't Heavy, He's My Uncle, and Free Men, a Woman and a Baby. always struggle with that one because of the film Three Men and a Baby. But there you
Oh, yeah.
go.
Yeah, he does. He does do a few episodes. Taker films. Fatal Extraction being another one, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. With the
Yeah.
weird stalker woman.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, he does. He does. Yeah, to be fair, even his names of his episodes quite clever, aren't they? A lot of them, like T for Three, Sky's the Limit. It's quite good how he does them. Really, yeah.
I found this book in a charity shop the other day. I haven't had it yet. It was £2, but it's literally
Another one.
it's got loads of pictures of David Jason. Like there's one with him with Bruce Forsyth, one from Birds of a Feather. I'm gonna put them on the podcast page later.
Yeah,
Once
yeah, share it. Yeah.
Ronnie Barker as well, obviously on there. I'd imagine.
I don't think it's in this one,
Ah, right.
but there's one I wanted to show you now, which I think
You
is
can do a timer. I just put them on when I started, so it should be all right.
this is the one. It's
Since I started, so they should be all right now. Yeah, it doesn't matter, does it, Alan?
An hour and 20.
Okay, we'll turn them off. Just my dinner.
Oh, I thought you told yourself then.
No. I put the jacket potatoes in, but I didn't realise how I put them in for. So
Oh, crap. They'd be baked. They were.
might be like Grandad's cooking. Yeah.
Granddad, yeah, sauteed.
Yeah, that was it. It's got Les Dawson in it.
Yeah, he was great. Les Dawson, yeah. Yeah.
Des
He-
O'Connor, Ruby Wax, and Bruce Forsyth.
Des O'Connor gets a mention, doesn't he? Rodney says, I remember when we first started this journey, Des O'Connor was white or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, he's moaning about the government of the day, isn't he? And he says, "Yeah,
Yeah.
that was O'Connor," and yeah,
Yeah.
fine.
It's funny, isn't it? Like John, it's like getting hit by a John Barnes free kick, when Slater comes back, but you'd love that, wouldn't you, as a celebrity to get a mention? Martin
Yeah.
Kemp says about Pepsi and Shirley, his wife, said she loved that, she was mentioned in the episode,
My claim to fame is in the first series. My name is on the credits. Chris Watts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
Is it only in the first series, is it that? Is he not in any others? No.
I noticed it in the first series. I'm not
Yeah,
sure if it's the whole of the series or just one episode, but I've noticed it before. Yeah.
Yeah, a bit weird, isn't it, that? Yeah.
There we go.
That is odd. Yeah, that is odd. But there you go.
Yeah.
Well, it's been great. I think this is
Yeah.
one of the best ones we've done, if I'm honest. Like on a series, it's been really good because of the
I think
quality of the episodes. Definitely.
Yeah,
As
a
well.
lot to talk about, isn't there, with them?
Great. Well, it's been a really good one. Yeah, we'll do Boise's best moments next, and then series 7.
That'd
See
be
you
fun.
later.
Lovely, jubbly.
Yeah,
Bonjour for
later.
now.
See you.
Bye.